Hi everyone, John Phillips here for JPTV. This is the midweek news roundup for week number 39. If you're new around here and you like what I'm doing, please click the subscription button and hit the notification bell so you get notifications of when the new videos are being uploaded. So let's get straight onto it. As you can see, there's the new background here. It's fresh out of the delivery bag, and I'm using the wide-angle lens that I reviewed at the weekend. If you haven't seen my review, go and check that out. It's really worth doing. At the end of the day, this is one of 3 lenses that I got for £4 off Amazon. Really worth doing. But anyway, I digress. Let's start with the news stories. The American Broadcast Corporation TV network has cancelled comedian Roseanne Barr's rejigged sitcom Roseanne after she posted a racist tweet likening African-American former Barack Obama aide to an ape. ABC said Roseanne's Twitter statement was abhorrent, repugnant and inconsistent with our values, and we have decided to cancel her show. Guys, anybody that's been alive for the last 30 plus years, knows how much of a tit Roseanne Barr Arnold, to give her full proper name, even though she got divorced from Tom Arnold, I think. But Roseanne Barr, how much of a tit this woman is. It was never a good idea for ABC TV to actually recommission Roseanne. It was a dated sitcom. She's a dated comedian, and this has proved it. You know, it really gets on my nerves that this happens. You know, that they think, oh yeah, let's make a quick money-making scheme. Don't look at the background TV executives. Don't worry about the background of people. Don't worry the fact that she's one of the most controversial, so we say, comedians of the 20th and 21st century. Don't worry about that. Let's just make her a TV show, yeah? Poor thinking. Poor thinking. And not only just that, it's the same TV show that she did in the mid to late 80s. Granted, we wouldn't have got Johnny Gaelic, whatever his name is, the guy that plays Leonard on The Big Bang Theory. We wouldn't have had the woman that plays Sheldon's mum, who was Roseanne's sister. You know, so there are positives to that TV program. But as I said, it's a stupid idea to get this rebranded, and I'm glad and I'm grateful that that TV show's been cancelled. As everybody knows, Italy's financial system is not exactly in the best of shapes at the moment, and there is now fears over Italy's political upheaval, which spread to Wall Street after Europe's financial markets closed lower than originally expected. The prospect of fresh elections and the possibility of Eurosceptic parties strengthening their position has raised concern about the Eurozone's stability. The US Dow Jones Index had shed 1.5% by midday. This is for a report I read yesterday. Coming after Italy's FTSE MIB closed down 2.7%, and other main markets in Europe shed well over 1%. Now, I know this isn't a huge amount. I'm one of the people myself that says that when we officially got out of recession, what was it, 8 or 9 years ago, whenever it was, that it was because the growth in the British economy had risen by 0.1%. How was 0.1% growth? Sorry, doesn't work for me. But anyway, I'm digressing from it. I know this doesn't sound like a lot of money. You know, 1% here, 2.7% there, blah blah blah. But when you think about it, it is a shitload of money that Italy is inflicting on the European currency across the board. You know, I said in my last video about the news story about how weak the financial system is because of the Barclays Bank's situation. But as I say, it's weak. We are not in this affluent business society. We're in a very, very, very poor society. Overall, the UK's debt is ridiculously high and is growing by hundreds of thousands of pounds every moment. You know, we're only a couple, 4 minutes into this video, and already, our debt has increased by probably about £200,000 as a country. Yes, all right, we know there are multi-millionaires out there that are not paying their taxes, but for people like me, we're in bad situations. I did want to talk about Tommy Robinson because I don't really agree with the majority of his politics, but I do want to talk about this because this is stupid. How this is made news, I'll never know. But I want people to be entertained on this video as much as I try and give as much positivity as I can. Reporting on the news stories, there's not much positive news to talk about. There is in a minute, but anyway. So the former English Defence League, Tommy Robinson, has been jailed for potentially prejudicing a court case. It gets funnier. Robinson, who appeared in the dock under his real name, Stephen Yaxley Lennon, was arrested in Leeds on Friday. Right, this story broke the other day. The 35-year-old was broadcasting on social media outside City Crown's Court where a trial was ongoing. And this is a direct quote from the QC. Not only was it a very long video, but I regard it as a serious aggravating feature that he was encouraging others to share it, and it had been shared widely. And for this reason, this is why he has been held in contempt of court. Now, surely this breaches freedom of speech. Surely this implies that whoever the persons that were on the jury are impeachable. I don't get how this is news, people. How is this news? Somebody, regardless of the circumstances here, right? Somebody was standing outside on public property on his phone talking about a court case that was going on indoors. How exactly was that contempt of court? And if there's any solicitors listening or watching, by all means put down in the comments how exactly this is contempt of court, because I don't see the link here. I really, really don't see the link here. I personally believe that this is nothing more than censorship gone absolutely ridiculous. As everybody knows, I like to try and keep abreast and keep you guys abreast of what's going on with the NHS, more specifically with cancer treatment. Because as everybody knows that has been following my videos right from day one, when I started off on the original channel and before I started up JPTV just over 3 weeks ago, I talk about cancer stories as much as possible, the good and as well as the bad, and also the stupid statistics, right? Now, this is a potentially very, very good story coming up here. A vaccine could help significantly extend the lives of people diagnosed with a brain cancer that killed ex-Labour Cabinet Minister Tessa Gell, early trials suggest. Okay? So basically, to put it in our layman's terms, early trials are basically proven that there's a vaccine that could help people with brain cancer. People with glioblastoma who took part in the study lived more than twice as long as those on standard treatments in many cases according to the research. Now, this is a big breakthrough. Now, granted, I'm not 100% sure on what the expected life period of time is for people who are having the treatment for glioblastoma. Some people can have treatment for 6 months. Some people can have treatment for 6 years. Some people can have treatment for an entire lifetime. Okay, for example, there was a bloke who used to live near my dad, who had cancer. He was diagnosed with cancer a couple of months before I was born, so in the mid-80s, and he died 10 years ago. He lived for 25, 26 years, right? He was riddled with cancer by the time he died, but he lived a successful life, been given 6 months to live in 1980. Words fail me to say how great this is, but anyway. This is potential. There's a lot of kids seem to be getting glioblastoma. As you've probably been hearing about Isla, if there are any West Ham fans watching, we all know about what's going on with Isla and her fight, and it's good news. Because she potentially could have been. I'm sure it was glio. It was very, very close to this if it wasn't this actual condition. So I'm sure she's had the same treatment, and she is coming through it. So there are good successful rate stories on this. But as I say, the more research people are doing for cancer, the more people are going to be living, and the longer lives people are going to be living. And hopefully one day we'll be able to eradicate cancer completely. 100 years ago, they said they would never get rid of tuberculosis. We're 99% of the way there. 150 years ago, they said that they would never cure consumption. Hardly anyone ever gets it anymore, and nobody dies from it for that matter. So the last story I want to talk about, as I've mentioned about before about child obesity, this shocks me. It really shocks me. 1 in 25 children in England aged 10 or 11 are severely obese, a new analysis has found. Height and weight measurements show the number of children classed as severely overweight rose from 15,000 by the time they were admitted into primary school, and then 22,000 by the time they left. So that is 7,000 kids across the UK, whatever schools had the kids volunteering for it, wherever they were, 7,000 more kids became obese, leaving primary school, than before they went in as juniors. That worries the piss out of me. It really seriously worries me that we're getting this, that our kids are eating shit, not being given the right diets, not being told how to eat right. I mean, we all eat crap. I mean, when I was at school, more specifically when I was going into secondary school / high school, depending on your point of view and where you come from, me and an old schoolmate of mine, we used to walk from Worcester Park down to New Malden, where Beverly Boys was before it became Coombe Boys. And I used to go past the newsagents down there, which is probably still there. And I used to go in every single morning and buy a big fuck off bar of Galaxy and eat it by the time I went to school. It was only a half an hour journey. I would scoff the lot in about 15-20 minutes straight, but look at me. I'm not obese. I never was. I exercised all the time. I still exercise a lot. I don't get as much exercise as I'd like, or as much exercise as I want, but that's the disadvantage of being single. But as I say, it's just bad. It worries me that more and more kids are becoming obese. More and more kids are not being shown how to eat properly, not being shown the basics, the rudimentary basics of what is good to eat all the time, what is good to eat as much as possible, what is bad to eat but in good quantities, and what isn't bad to eat across the board. It worries me. I mean, our generations are turning into slobs. But anyway, thanks very much for watching, guys. We've had 7 subscribers onto the channel over the last 3 weeks. Thank you very much for doing this, guys. I want more people to come onto the channel. So drop your comments down there. I will respond. I always respond to every single comment I get, and I like to try and engage people to talk. More people are talking on my latest few videos I put up on the main channel about the West Ham stories. So if there's any Hammers watching there and I haven't seen my videos yet, go and check those out. Where the channel is. So yeah, as I say, thank you very much for watching. If you've enjoyed this video and you feel I deserve it, please click the like button. It'd be great to try and get the YouTube algorithm fucked up for these videos. And I also want you to share these videos with people that will enjoy it. So thank you very much for watching. As I said, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. I hope you've got this far. Not many people do. But in the meantime, enjoy yourselves. Enjoy the rest of the weekend. Enjoy the rest of the week. And I will see you again soon. Take care.